Hi friends, it is Queen Alita. I have a prophetic message to share with you guys today that's based on a dream that I had on November 27th. I actually had a dream that is very similar on November 29th. So two dreams with very similar symbolism. And I think I'm going to do two separate words for this. But yeah, just know that they are related. I'll focus on the dream that I had on November 27th today. So I just want to welcome you back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome. Just a quick disclaimer, if you are new, it's very important to note that not every prophetic message that I share here is meant for you. It's so important that you take it before the Lord. Ask Him for confirmation. Make sure that He really is speaking to you in this season. And it's very important that you have that relationship with Him, that you're able to hear His voice for yourself. And I know that for some of you, this word today will be confirmation of what God has already been speaking to you about, which is awesome. But if you do have any questions, you need to understand more, definitely take it back to Him. He has the full story, okay? So, like I said, I had two dreams, and both of these dreams had trains in them. So I know that they're related, but I have the sensing from the Lord to share them on separate days. So just a quick rundown on just what a train symbolizes in the dream. And it also always depends on the context of the dream. So always remember that when you're analyzing a symbol. But trains, because of the way that they move, they're fast moving. And once they get going, it's very difficult to stop them. So they would represent a move of God, because this is a powerful move. Trains are very powerful. A move of God that can't be stopped, that, if you get in the way of a train while it's moving, you will die. Basically, I hate to say it, but it is very dangerous to get in the way of a train moving. So this is something that, it's a move of God. And, with regards to these two dreams, there was a very specific uniqueness about the way these trains were, okay? So I'll share the first dream with you guys and give you the word around that. So know that this has to do with a very unique personal experience that you're going to have. So the dream that I had on November 27th, I was in this train. I'm laughing because it was so strange. It was one compartment and only I could fit into it. It was just specifically for me, and it was self-driven. There was no driver. I was just in this one little train thing. It's not even a full car, that has other seats. It was just one, and I was standing. There wasn't even a seat. And I remember just arriving. I don't remember getting on. I remember just this fast move, like it just literally just moved so quickly and stopped suddenly, and I knew that I was where I was supposed to be. And when I got off, I could see somebody that I'm very close to in waking life. I'm in partnership with this person in a very specific area of my life, and I could see him coming towards me. And then on the other side, kind of like on another track, I could see a normal looking train, and a lot of people were like getting onto that train, kind of already on it. And there were people that I recognized, and they were kind of just like waving at me, happy to see me, but I knew that they were on their way. And so the dream switches kind of to me and this person that I'm in partnership with, and he was showing me the script. It was such a cute little script. It looked like it was just on this very hard type of paper. I almost want to say it was like cardboard, but it was very beautiful. And on the one page, so it was almost like the first page had lines, and then the page that followed would have actions. And he was explaining to me that I had to say the lines, and then the next page was his part, would be the response to the lines. He had to do the action. He didn't have lines, he had actions, but I had lines. And so he gave me the script, and then I saw the director come The director at first I thought was, going to be, typical. I've been around directors before. My sister is, she went to film school. So, she always drags me into some production. So I've been around a few directors, and generally they're quite intense. I don't want to use any negative words, but they're very intense people, and they can be abrasive in their language and the way that they speak to people. So I was expecting that from this director. And I kind of had the sense that people kind of thought that about him as well. So he went to speak to my partner, and as they were speaking, I was thinking about memorizing the script and realizing that, I kind of know the script. I don't really have to memorize it. And I also knew that I could improvise and that it would be okay, that my improvisation would match the script. And while I was thinking all of this and figuring that out, I was also listening to their conversation, and the director and that guy were just, really in a friendly conversation. The director was very nice, and then he was asking my partner, like, is she ready? And he was like, yeah, she's ready. And so it was almost like this rehearsal that was about to happen didn't have to happen, because he told the director that I was ready, and he just didn't even want to go through the scene because we were ready for this. And that was pretty much the dream. So a very, very specific dream. I haven't dealt with scripts or plays or productions in a long time, so I know that this is something that I was not thinking about at all. And obviously God chose this particular symbolism for good reason. So just again, going to the part with the train, this was a very unique train. I don't know if a train like excuse me, I don't think a train like this exists, where it's just this one little, almost like this just one space for one person and self-driven. So that symbolizes just a personal journey, something that you are going to go through on your own, and he's going to propel you forward, because it was so quick. I just remember just moving from one place to another. It was so fast, and it's going to be a quick work in terms of getting you to a place where there's some area in your life, right? And you really please take this to the Lord if this word is for you, because it is a very specific area in your life where there's some sort of partnership. And what God is saying in that, with regards to that partnership, is that you have to play your part and they have to play their part, right? But in order for them to play their part, you are the one who has to start things off. And what is going to be most important are your words. Your words are going to be the key thing. You have to speak certain things into existence, or let me put it that way, in a different way. I mean, like, you'll have to make certain decrees, and those decrees are going to be improvised in a sense, but you already know what they are, because God has already given you the script. He's already given you the words to speak. It's about you coming into alignment and into agreement with what He said about this particular partnership for it to move forward. It could be something that is related to your calling, people that you're working with, and there may have been some kind of separation or issues before, but God is saying He's bringing it together, and He needs you to play your part so that the other person or the other entity or group, whatever it may be, can play their part. So when you speak, they will act. As you speak His word that He has given you about the situation, they will respond in action. They will actually do what they're supposed to do. But it's about you coming into alignment. And this is something that you have to go through on your own, which is why all the other people were on a train together, kind of just waving. They're not going to be a part of this. This is a very personal experience, something that God is taking you through on your own. And the director in the dream represents the Lord, because, He's the director of it all. He's the one that has written the script. He's written all of this down. He's put put the script in your heart. Let me put it that way, because you are the one who has to speak it. You already have the words. That's why in the dream I was thinking of improvising, because I already knew. So he's the director, and I love how, you know, the way I was feeling in the dream about the director, like, oh my gosh, he must be, you know, intense like most directors. And isn't that typically how we think of God? Or at least, you know, for a long time growing up, I was taught how intense God is, and we had the kind of fear that was not a healthy kind of fear, only for this director to turn out to be so awesome, because that's just how amazing God is. He's just really a good father. And just know that as you are working on the words, the decrees that he has given you, the word that he has spoken to you about the situation, the Lord is doing some work already in the person or the people that you're in partnership with. In the dream, while I was working on the script, on, you know, memorizing or improvising as I was working out what I was going to do, that director was with my partner in the dream, and they were having a really good conversation. So know that God has already gone before you. He's already gone before you to prepare their heart for the decrees that you're going to make. So even just my partner saying, yes, she's ready, God wants you to know right now that you are ready. You just may not quite realize it. So you need to shift your mind. Shift what's happening in your mind, you know, hold captive every thought that goes against what God has told you, and come into agreement and come into alignment with what God has said. Come out of agreement with the lies that the enemy is trying to plant into your mind and into your heart. Play your part. Speak what God has told you to speak, because when you speak, they will act, okay? And while I'm at it, God also dropped this in my spirit, that you need to marry your speaking with your faith, okay? Marry your speaking with your faith. It's important that you have faith. And he dropped in my spirit the part of scripture where Jesus had an encounter with the centurion. Okay, let me rather say the Roman officer, okay? That's better for my tongue. He had that encounter with the Roman officer in Matthew chapter 8, verse 5 to 13. Okay, I'm going to quickly read that. It says, when Jesus returned to Capernaum, a Roman officer came and pleaded with him, Lord, my young servant lies in bed, paralyzed and in terrible pain. Jesus said, I will come and heal him. But the officer said, Lord, I am not worthy to have you come into my home. Just say the word from where you are, and my servant will be healed. I know this because I am under the authority of my superior officers, and I have authority over my soldiers. I only need to say go, and they go, or come, and they come. And if I say to my slaves, do this, they do it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed. Turning to those who were following him, he said, I tell you the truth, I haven't seen faith like this in all Israel. And I tell you this, that many Gentiles will come from all over the world, from east and west, and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob at the feast in the kingdom of heaven. But many Israelites, those for whom the kingdom was prepared, will be thrown into outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then Jesus said to the Roman officer, Go back home. Because you believed, it has happened. And the young servant was healed that same hour. Because you believe what God has told you, it will happen. When you speak, they will act. Okay? Like I said, this has to do with some kind of partnership. It could even be related to marriage, because that's a partnership as well. So whatever God is speaking to you about, that partnership that you know God is encouraging you to not give up on, to play your part, he's going to quickly bring it all together. Just a fast movement of that train, that's going to be his move. He was the one driving that train. There was no one there but me, and I certainly wasn't controlling it. So yeah, that's the word for today. You are ready. Get your mind right. Speak what God has given you to speak, and they will act. Friends, that is the word for today. I really pray it's blessed whoever it is for. I will see you in the next video. Always remember that God is a good Father. He loves you so much because you, my friend, are so deeply special to Him.